Please welcome to the stage Vice President of Product Management, LinkedIn, Gyanda Sachdeva.
Hi everybody, my name is Gyanda Sachdeva and I'm the Head of Product for LinkedIn Marketing Solutions. And I'm really excited to be here. I've really been inspired by the sessions in this room this morning. The power of storytelling, of creativity is well and alive in this room. And I'm particularly inspired by this moment that we're leaning into, this moment for B2B marketing, because it's about time. It's about time we had massive impact for everyone in the room and the businesses that we collectively drive. You'll recall that this morning we started with a video on key moments of belief. And one such moment of belief was the Chicago World Fair. It was a moment of innovation, evolution of technology, explosion of human ingenuity. Great minds coming together to challenge the status quo and dream of what comes next. Because in many ways, human history is the study of progress. We make do with the tools we have, we find problems, and we reinvent the tools. Doing things the way they were always done before is never a good enough reason to go down any path. Imagine if we were still using sundials to tell time or Morse code to communicate. So why should B2B marketing be any different? We should be constantly working to build a sharper toolkit for the jobs you and I have to do every day. And what if I told you that this could be the moment for B2B? A revolutionary moment where we all collectively take a giant step forward. In the next 15 minutes, I want to walk you through our vision for the future and also share the products and solutions we have in store for you. And we think of these in three buckets: creativity, identity, and measurement. Because these happen to be the key pillars of success for B2B marketing, and they also happen to be ready to be reimagined. Let's start with creativity. Jim and Mel spoke this morning about the importance of promise making, of storytelling. And at the heart of those motions is creativity. And if I were to be completely honest, B2C advertising has done a great job. In the past few years, they've created emotional, engaging mediums and formats to reach their customers. Think of reels, filters, vertical videos. It's time that B2B thinks about the creative formats we need to better support the unique purchasing journeys and interests of our clients. If you think of any average buying cycle, the most compelling recommendation for any product or service usually comes from another human being. People trust people. When you buy something big or small, you look for validation from your family, from friends, from experts, influencers, online reviews. With more than 59 million companies using LinkedIn pages to build their brand, to cultivate a community, and to have meaningful discussions, we have learned that communicating authentically with your customers is very important. And it turns out buyers and your customers don't just want to hear from companies. They want to hear from the people inside those companies, people who understand their needs, their challenges. And this is why we're very excited to introduce a new format that will tap into the power of storytelling, and it will let you promote individual employee posts with their permission from your company page. Think about all those executives at your company's posting. They could become the voices for your brand. We think this format will instantly humanize your brand and give it credibility. So now we've seen the research and seen the stats. B2B sales cycles are very long. It takes a long time to go from seeing an ad to the exciting moment when someone signs a contract. And this is in sharp contrast to B2C, where on Amazon you have the one-click buy button. You can see the product and buy that product within minutes, sometimes seconds. I do it. It doesn't happen in B2B. So what do B2B marketers need? They need tools to be able to continue a conversation with their clients over a much longer time horizon. And this is why we're very excited to introduce conversational formats this year. And one such format is click-to-message ads. This ad will let buyers start a conversation with your brand directly from the feed. It will not only help you assess their intent and interest, it will also help them navigate the long journey. And these are not the only formats that we're thinking about when we think about creativity in B2B. There are many more. Document ads, which will let you surface content and thought leadership. Conversation starter ads, which will let you start a conversation with the buyer directly in the inbox, where they're in the mindset of having one-on-one discussions. In-stream video ads, which will create a more immersive video viewing experience for your customers. And finally, connected TV solutions, and not just your regular CTV solutions, connected TV solutions that are built for professional targeting for professional audiences. We're very excited about all of this that is in store for you on the creativity front. So let's talk about what comes next. Identity, the topic that's on everyone's mind. The privacy landscape is evolving very quickly, and controls and regulations are quickly eroding our ability to do the jobs that we do every day. But if you think about the definition of marketing identity in digital media, it's usually comprised of signals like advertising IDs and cookies. And advertising platforms have used these signals to track people, and they've come to rely on individual web behaviors for decades. But all of that is at risk now because personal privacy is at the forefront of every consumer, every lawmaker's mind. But then if you think about this definition of marketing identity at the individual level, it works for the B2C world because the decision maker is often an individual or at max a household. But that's not true of B2B, ever. B2B decisions are not made by any one person, they're made by groups of people. In fact, groups of multiple people over multiple quarters who play multiple roles. Someone's a user, someone's an advocate, someone's the decision maker, and someone's the financier. And this is why, at LinkedIn, we want to rethink the definition of marketing identity and make it true for B2B. Because we need a consistent way to reach the groups of buyers, not any individual buyer. It turns out B2B marketing does not depend or need individual identity. It needs group identity. And group identity is privacy safe by design. And to be clear, this is a very new tool for the job. So why is LinkedIn doing this? LinkedIn is building this because it's the right thing to do for B2B marketing. It always was. The second reason is we have the professional data set to do this right. And then finally, we need to do this because we need to react to the changes that are happening in the industry, and we need to give you ways to achieve, if not exceed, your growth targets. So we're very excited to go on this journey alongside all of you, and there's a lot more coming on this front. Okay, we've talked about creativity, about identity. Let's talk about measurement. This is the topic that every conversation comes down to, and it should. Because marketers need ways to show progress, to show value, to show impact from the businesses and the efforts that they're driving. And we know the questions you're getting from your CRO and CFO. Jim and Mel are probably getting the same from ours. So we want to give you solutions so that you can go back and answer those questions confidently, not just in times like these, but also in good times. So let's talk about measurement. When you sit down to evaluate your performance, one of the things that you absolutely need is a clean data set. But that's very hard to do because you're running your campaigns across platforms, across systems, mingling it with sensitive business data. And that's why it's truly important that you have a trusted place where you can join your data with ours. And this is why we're investing in clean room technology. LinkedIn's clean room will create an easy-to-use and secure place for you to bring multiple data sets, not just from LinkedIn, from everywhere, and be able to analyze that data in peace. And we're not going at it alone. We are partnering with established players like Habu, and then more partners and availability will be coming soon, so stay tuned. We talked earlier about how the B2B buying cycle is long and how formats that are conversational in nature can help, but we want to go beyond formats. We want to give you reports and insights that will let you see when a particular customer is going to get lost in that conversation, and you bring them back. Over the next few months, we'll be adding many more signals to LinkedIn's platform to give you a fuller picture on ROI, and one such signal is website actions. Website actions is this amazing product technology that will help you go deep into the insights and engagement that your users are taking on your websites. It will group these actions into meaningful behavior patterns that can be leveraged to understand, engage, and nurture your buyers. It can also be leveraged to build audiences, to build campaigns that can improve your ROI. And the best news about website actions is that it is very easy to set up. No extra code needed, no additional setup. All right, Another thing that's probably on your mind with measurement is the alignment or the lack of alignment between sales and marketing organizations. We are at a marketing conference, so if you didn't talk about this, that would be pretty odd, so let's talk about it. We have been thinking about this challenge for a really long time. And to be honest, we've only scratched the surface on the solutions that can help. But one thing that we are focused on right now is to give you some tools to measure the impact that you're having on the sales organization and vice versa. To be able to see the impact of that partnership, of the connectedness of the teams, and to be able to see how you can amplify each other. And this is why we're very excited to introduce Revenue Attribution Report. Revenue Attribution Report brings together the results and efforts from marketing and merges it with the CRM data. It lets you see what the activities, the sales activities in CRM look like and how your campaigns have influenced them. So you can optimize and attribute based on that information. We're very excited about investing in this product, and we're partnering with many different CRM providers, including Salesforce and Dynamics. One last thing that comes up in measurement as we talk to marketers around the world is how difficult it is to do B2B brand well. And on top of that, how difficult it is to measure B2B brand. Everyone is looking for playbooks, for guidance, for measurement techniques, and sometimes they're even looking to see what their peers are doing so they can compare their efforts. So today we're really excited to introduce a new metric to measure brand heat in the B2B world, and it's called the B2B Index. It's a metric that's composed of the key elements of a strong brand: creative quality, audience intent, and investment. I want to take a moment to recognize some all-star brands that we have here with us in the room. Congratulations to HubSpot, to SoFi, and to VMware for topping the list of our inaugural B2B Index scorecard. I think it's no surprise to anyone in this room, these brands are doing something commendable. And we are, in fact, looking forward to partnering with all of you as we bring B2B Index to market. All right. I've talked a lot about the products and solutions that are coming, and by the way, this is not even the full list. There's a lot more, so stay tuned. I'm very excited. But I hope you indulge me for a few more minutes because I want to talk about one more thing. We at LinkedIn believe that we're at the precipice, at a jumping off point into a whole new world for our industry. What if we could build a whole new world that was designed for B2B, the way it should have been? You've all seen the transformation that's happened in B2C buying over the last several years. Think of yourselves as a B2C consumer and how Amazon alone has fundamentally changed the way you buy products for your day-to-day life. You need a pair of headphones? Go to Amazon, search for the category. You can look at the products. You can build your confidence through reviews. You can compare products by feature, by price, by quality. And then the convenience. You can place the order, and the product will be at your doorstep the very next day, if not the same day. And if you don't like it, you return it. Now, take the same B2C buyer. She goes to work the next day, and she's asked to buy B2B software for her company, which is a very high-stakes purchase. But then what happens? The process is totally broken. Where is the confidence building? Where is the transparency? Where is the convenience? We want to put B2B buyers at the center, the heart of our marketplace. We want to focus on their needs. We want to transform what B2B buying looks like, and in process, transform what B2B marketing looks like. So if you may, come with me on this journey. Put yourselves in the shoes of a B2B buyer and imagine the following the next time you log on to LinkedIn. Imagine that every B2B product and service that's out there has a home, has a voice on LinkedIn. It can talk to you, you can connect with it, you can engage with it. The entire inventory of B2B products at your fingertips. Imagine now that for any B2B category, you can see the products that are trending. And you can see the list change in real time as new social signals come in. It will be like having an NPS, a live NPS for every category, for every product. Imagine now being able to tap into a community of experts who understand these products, who are actually power users of these products. They can answer your questions about any category, about any service. Imagine being able to tap into a library of articles that's answering basic questions that people don't know who to ask, These articles are written by experts who know what they're talking about. They're curated by editors at LinkedIn. And imagine being able to reach out to somebody you know who's actually used this product. So you build your confidence through their learned and lived experience. And then imagine being able to test drive any B2B product directly from the platform. When you go to a car dealership to buy a car, you can test drive any car in the parking lot because it's a high-stakes purchase. But it turns out everything in B2B is high stakes. So we want to build that test drive experience for every B2B product on our platform. And this future is not just for the B2B buyers. This future is also for all of you, all of us. Because imagine being able to go beyond the ad click, being able to learn more deeply about the interests and intents of your buyers, being able to get privacy-safe, group-based signals, buying intent signals as people engage with experts, with communities, with categories, and with test drives. This is the future we want to build, and we want to build it with all of you. Why are we so convinced that we should go do this, and why should LinkedIn do this in particular? I think many of you know LinkedIn is the app that people go to when they're looking for a job, and that's true. But it's also the app that people go to when they have other professional needs. In fact, underneath this app, there is a thriving professional network that gives us access to insights and trends across the world's economy. And we call this the economic graph. The economic graph is comprised of 875 million members, 59 million companies, 14 million jobs, 39,000 skills, and 128,000 schools. And it's a vibrant graph because it updates roughly 5 million times every minute. The right professionals with the right expertise, the right buying groups with the right buying intent are right here. And that's why we are so convinced we can get this done right. And with that, thank you very much.